How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what's about. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of seeing the awesome new 8th entry into the Saw series franchise, Jigsaw. So this awesome film was so well done. After a 7-year hiatus from the last film, which came out in 2010, we had 7 long years to kind of build up that anticipation for another one of these films, even though the last one was supposed to be considered the final chapter. So this awesome film was actually directed by the Sprigg brothers. Now, the Sprigg brothers have directed a few other really good kind of like horror action type of flicks, or science fiction flicks, I should say. One of them is the awesome 2009 film Daybreakers, starring Ethan Hawke, which was a really good vampire movie. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's so good. So amazing. It's a really interesting film. A whole different take on vampires, and William Dafoe is in it too as well, and it was a well-rounded film. A really good, vampire film, one I hadn't seen before. They also directed another interesting film, also starring Ethan Hawke, called Predestination. Now, I haven't had a chance to watch that one, but I have seen the trailer and I've read reviews about it, and it actually looks kind of interesting. Has to do with kind of like science fiction and so forth, and time travel and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting sounding, and Ethan Hawke is an awesome actor, and I really enjoy him in film. So that's definitely something I want to check out. But that's another one the Sprigg brothers have done that was considered a kind of success or a big hit. Now, this awesome film had a decent cast, and the writing on it I thought was really well done. Now, this awesome film has an awesome actor, once again reprising the same role from the original films, and that is Mr. Tobin Bell himself, aka Jigsaw John Kramer. Now, he is actually originally a set designer and one of the guys that worked behind the scenes for over 20 years before he got his break into actually acting. Now, a few movies I recognize him in, or a lot of people might recognize him in, is such great films as the 1995 Western film The Quick and the Dead, directed by the awesome Sam Raimi. He was really awesome in it. It was a very short part, but it was really awesome. And that's just an all-around great film. Huge awesome cast in that film. You got Leonardo DiCaprio, you have Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Lance Henriksen. I mean, it just had a huge cast. And Sam Raimi did a really good job of directing it too. But that's a really good Western that Tobin Bell was in. He also was in another film that I totally don't remember him being in, but it's been so long since I saw the film. And that is the 1993 thriller The Firm, starring Tom Cruise. And that movie is just an awesome thriller type / kind of conspiracy theory type of film. It's just all around great film, and I totally forgot that Tobin Bell was actually in it. But it's a great film that he was also in as well. We also have in the awesome film another awesome actor, and that is Mr. Matt Passmore. Now, Matt Passmore is actually from Australia and has done quite a bit of work over in Australia, and not too much over here in the United States. But a couple things that he's actually done over here that is kind of got him start over here in the United States for us to remember him by or recognize him. Particularly, he actually was in a TV show that was on A&E. That ran for 3 seasons, and that is The Glades, which was like a cop kind of series, kind of comedy cops kind of series. And it was considered a pretty big hit for the 3 seasons it was on, and he actually plays the main detective in the series. He also was in another interesting film that was like a comedy film and a supposed sequel to a 1994 film, and that is The Son of the Mask. Now, The Son of the Mask was quite an interesting sequel. A lot of people panned it, a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was actually pretty funny. And I thought Jimmy Kennedy was pretty good substitute for Jim Carrey, because I think Jimmy Kennedy's pretty funny. But Matt Passmore actually plays like a brief part in that film, and I found that so funny that he was in that movie particularly, compared to anything else, because he really hasn't been in anything else. So it's so funny to see that, see him in that, and I didn't recognize him when I saw that movie, like, over a decade ago. But yeah, at the same time, it's a funny role for Matt Passmore. But yeah, Matt Passmore was really good in this film. He was a very interesting character, and I really hadn't seen him act before, so I thought his character was really interesting, and he did a decent job. He was very believable, and he just did a really good job of playing the character that he played, which is actually considered like kind of like a mortician. He's considered working for the cops and stuff, figuring out these crimes that are going on. But yeah, he did a really good job, and I really enjoyed him in the film. He made a big impact on the film and made it really good. Tobin Bell's, of course, as Jigsaw is just amazing. He's always amazing as Jigsaw. But at the same time, he brought a lot of wonderful new chemistry to the film in this film. Even though it wasn't a very big part, he still, even in that moment, you're just like, he's Jigsaw. You're like, he's John Kramer. He's so immensely a big part of the Saw franchise, and just made it so good. We also have in the film a wonderful and beautiful actress, Miss Laura Vandervoort. Now, you might recognize her as in the 7th season of Smallville as Supergirl, which she only reprised like one more time in the series. But at the same time, she has been in a few other movies that were decent. That she was probably more recognized for than for Smallville. Particularly one she did in the early 2000s, and it was a sequel, and that is Into the Blue 2: The Reef. Basically, the original one was with Paul Walker and Jessica Alba, and she took over the character, or similar character like Jessica Alba, in the sequel, and it was not too bad of a sequel. It wasn't as good as the first one, but she did pretty decent, and I thought she's a decent actress. She also was in another great movie that I totally forgot she was in as well. And that film is the Joseph Gordon-Levitt film, The Lookout, which is an immensely amazing movie. Oh my gosh, that movie is just so amazing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, everything he's in is amazing. And Laura Vandervoort did a really good job in that film. She had a very small part, but at the same time was a really good and important part, an integral part to that film. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt just, kicked the butt in that film. He's so believable, he's so amazing, and he should get so much more, recognition for how talented of an actor he is. And that's just one of the roles that he's played that just proves how good of an actor he is. But The Lookout is a great movie. Had Jeff Daniels in it. Also had Isla Fisher. Just all around awesome film. And Laura Vandervoort was, like I said, was really good in it. But in the movie Jigsaw, Laura Vandervoort's character is kind of like the main kind of female or protagonist slash kind of like the lead person, and she kind of takes charge throughout the film. And she was just really good. It was interesting seeing her in a scary type of situation where she's like vulnerable, and the one on the other side of the chain, instead of being like a superhero or the good guy, she's like this normal petite woman that is in trouble and needs help, stuff like that. So it was really interesting to see her in the film like that. And as a brunette too, I'm so used to her as a blonde, and it was really like I said, her position in the film was really awesome, and it was very interesting to see her character develop throughout the film, and why she was there and what was going on with her character. The few other actors and actresses that were in the film really aren't any big anybody's, and they still did a really good job and made the film a good whole. And particularly, though, it was so funny, one of the characters in the film is actually Mario Van Peebles' son, Mandela Van Peebles, and it was funny to research about him a little bit, and that he's actually named after Nelson Mandela, which I found very interesting. But he was an interesting character in the film too. I really enjoyed his character. It was very interesting, and it was very decent role for him. But he really has no other TV credits or even acting credits to his name. This is kind of like one of his first like big films. He's done like little bit parts on TV series, but nothing really major other than that. There also was another awesome actor that was in the film that I have seen in a ton of movies. That's just an awesome guy, and he always plays kind of the bad guy, skeezy type of guy. And that awesome actor is Callum Keith Rennie. Now, he has been in a ton of movies over his illustrious career. But a couple of movies that stick out to me that he is known for are such films as the awesome 2007 film with Cedric the Entertainer called Codename The Cleaner, which is a really awesome film. Probably one of the best comedy action films around, just like the Rush Hours. Super funny, and Callum is just really awesome. The film plays a great bad guy. He always plays a really like a good scumbag type of character, and he just was really good in that. He also was another great film that I had the chance of watching recently over the last couple months, and that's the awesome 2016 Warcraft. And his character in the film is really awesome and interesting and really enjoyable. And he kind of actually plays kind of a good guy in that film, which is surprising. And so it was interesting to see him in a totally different light and a totally different type of character other than a scumbag. So that was really interesting. But in Jigsaw, he was really good as one of the main detectives. You kind of don't know if he's good or bad, or if he, what's going on with him. Why is he involved with this, etc., etc. As you go through the film, you're trying to piece together what is his connection. Why is he being framed, or is he being framed, or is he, the one behind this and stuff like that. So, I mean, he plays a really good, like, kind of that scumbag kind of detective in the film. And he was really good. He really made the film a whole. I mean, the writers on this film they did an amazing job of bringing back a awesome, franchise that, it's been 7 years, like I said, since the last film, and that was supposedly to be done. And they gave it a cool new aspect. I mean, it was really interesting, and I thought the Sprigg brothers did a really good job with the film. Now, if you're not familiar with what Jigsaw is about, basically the premise of the film is, like I said, it's supposed to be 10 years after John Kramer has passed, and all of a sudden these new killings start popping up. And these detectives have to figure out, what's going on. Why are these Jigsaw killings going on again? And, is John Kramer really dead? Did he fake his own death 10 years ago? And they basically got to figure out what's going on and try to stop these 5 people from being killed. And basically the movie revolves around them and basically what happens to them. It was same kind of similar story to the rest of the ones, but it gave a whole new light on John Kramer's character and a whole other story. And also another, idea, is there another, or is it the same, a successor, that's doing this. So it was a really cool premise. I thought they did a good job of reviving it. Just an all-around great film. Giant 10 Golden Movie boxes up on this one, just as good as the previous films. I love the whole franchise, just amazing franchise. Absolutely love it. Well, that's it for this film review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss one of these awesome movie reviews or any of the awesome videos that I make. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, go ahead and check that link down below about the Awesome Horror Pack. The Awesome Horror Pack is an awesome subscription service that goes right to your door of either awesome 4 Blu-rays or 4 DVDs of awesome horror goodness. And also, the Awesome Horror Pack has limited editions that nowhere else can you get them. That's right, these are exclusive to Horror Pack, and they come in between different boxes. So you want to, keep your eyes on those, because these some are so amazing, you're just like, Wow, I'd never seen such a great film. I can't believe this film is going on there. That's just awesome. And it's an amazing program, and you get so many great movies. I know one packs had Species in it, one had Waxworks in it, Ghoulies. I mean, just a lot of great, amazing films, and for such a great price too. Also, if you're interested in trying this out, let me know down in the comments and I'll hook you up with a discount on your first month. That's right, discount, people. What better way to get some horror movies than for a good discount? Yeah. So, and as always, catch you in the next one.